This is the Sportiva Raptor 3 Mid GTX. It moves like a trail runner and it's definitely worth your attention. The Ultra Raptor 3 Mid GTX is a $219 lightweight waterproof mid-cut hiking boot built for fast hiking, fast packing and technical mountain terrain. The combination of friction grip, Gore-Tex waterproofing, that mid-cut collar and weighing roughly 14 ounces is very hard to argue with here. La Sportiva has closed the gap between boot protection and trail runner agility. Let's get into it. Starting with the key specifications, they cost $219. I'll let you know at the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 14.4 ounces or 408 grams per shoe. They have an 8mm drop, that's 35mm under the heel and 27mm under the forefoot. The upper's using a high-tenacity ripstop mesh, which is 85% recycled PES and 15% PES, and it's using TPU lacing harness, Transkinetic Evo heel stabilizer, and an integrated rubber toe cap. The waterproofing is Gore-Tex EPE extended comfort membrane, and the midsole is using dual density CMEVA, which has plenty of flex to it, so you do get that really nice transition when you are on the trails. The outsole is using FriXion XF rubber compound, an impact braking system, and 4.5mm lugs, which are very aggressive. This is really useful when you are hiking on the trails. I like the way these designs do point backwards at the heel, kind of like a chevron shape, and forward at the forefoot. That means you get more grip going down descents and more bite when you're going up hills. The Ortholite insole is removable, so if you have orthotics, you can definitely swap them out. But before you do that, it's very important to know that these do run small in US sizing. So definitely go up a half size, you'll get a much better fit. Moving on to sizing and fit. As I said before, these do run small, and that's very common with La Sportiva running shoes and hiking boots. So I always go up a half size, that gives me a much better fit. And especially if you're going to be wearing hiking socks, you're definitely going to need the extra room. So depending on your foot shape and where you sit on the end of sizes, definitely go up at least half. You might even need to go up one full size. They have a medium width as well, so if you do have wide feet, these might not be for you. But if you have medium, narrow feet, then I think you're going to get on really well with these. The lockdown in these is fantastic. You've got these TPU lacing harnesses right at the top here. You wrap the laces around there, allows you to cinch the boot up really tightly, get a nice secure fit. And this heel cage at the rear, well, it just keeps your heel within the shoe, stops it from slipping around. And even though this cut at the rear is particularly low, it doesn't go high all the way around your Achilles. It really doesn't need it because the lockdown is fantastic. And when it comes to braking, well, you really don't need any break-in time at all. These feel fantastic out the box. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like and make sure you subscribe to the Trail and Kale channel for more outdoor, camping, hiking and lifestyle gear reviews. Can't wait to see you on the next video. And if you've had experience with these, I want to hear it in the comments down below. It's really going to help me understand how you've been using them, but also anyone who comes to this video trying to decide whether or not to buy them or not. So good, bad, put it all in the comments. All right, let's move on to my performance review. I'm going to start by talking about the traction, and that's that FriXion XF rubber compound and design of the lugs. It's very aggressive and it really does bite into the trail. And I really love this compound. It's quite sticky, meaning you do get really good traction in most terrain, and the aggressive shape of the lugs just really do help it to bite into the trail. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the weight to protection ratio. So with this boot, you get the mid-cut fit, you get Gore-Tex materials, so you get waterproof protection, you get the heel stabilizer and the nice reinforced toe cap. All of this protection at just over 14 ounces per boot. That's a really good weight to protection ratio. And you do feel it on the trail. It just feels very nimble for such a protected boot. And going back to that nimbleness, just how this feels out of the box. It feels more like a trail running shoe, an all mountain protective shoe, rather than a more traditional hiking boot. And I think that is definitely the biggest selling point for me for the Ultra Raptor 3, is the fact that it has all that protection, but allows you to move quickly, swiftly, and dynamically adapt to the trails underfoot. all whilst having all that protection and really good traction on the trails in varying conditions. There's also a good amount of volume in the toe box, even though this is very much a medium width hiking boot. There is a good bit of room in there, but I can't stress this enough, you have to size up a half size. If you go over usual US sizing, your feet are going to feel cramped for sure, especially if you are going to be wearing hiking socks, which most people probably will with this boot. So size up a half size and you're really going to enjoy the fit. So what could be improved with the Ultra Raptor 3 GTX? Well, the first thing, and it's probably the most obvious thing that kind of stood out to me whilst hiking in them, and that's the breathability. GTX or waterproof hiking boots are never breathable. That's just the nature of the beast. If you want to protect your feet from water, from actually passing through the membrane of the upper, then it's not going to be breathable. That's just life, that's science, right? So it's a waterproof boot. It's not that breathable, but it gives you protection from storms and water crossings. So if you aren't going to be hiking in incredibly hot conditions, maybe you're shoulder season hiking, which kind of makes sense if you are going for a GTX waterproof boot, then these are going to be absolutely fine. But if you are planning to do some really hot summer hikes, then this probably won't be the boot for you, unless you're hiking somewhere cooler. The other downside I'm going to mention is this cut towards the heel. So most traditional or kind of hybrid hiking boots, if they are mid-cut, then you get the same kind of height all the way around to the heel and to the collars. This one is different, and that's what makes it look very different to other hiking boots right now. Some people might notice this bit, this heel counter area, actually rubbing on the back of their Achilles just because of how it sits so low. Again, if you've got hiking socks, you're wearing hiking socks, then you're probably not going to notice that as much. But I think that might be the only part where braking could be needed for some foot shapes. And it's something to be aware of if you do have tender Achilles or you have Achilles tendonitis issues. This fit might not be right for you, but I do personally like it. It kind of airs out the shoe at the heel a little bit, and it fits really nice. It allows me to move my feet a little bit more than I would be able to without having this. And the other thing to mention is the CMEVA foam, the compression molded EVA foam in the midsole. It's a little bit firm, so don't come to this shoe expecting a soft, really cushioned platform. It's kind of well balanced. It's got good protection and a bit of response there, and the flex is really nice. It helps smooth out that transition from heel landing to toe takeoff. That's something that a lot of traditional boots just don't have. They're just not quite as flexible. But just know that the midsole is quite firm, so if you are going to be going on particularly long hikes, you might notice that if you're not used to walking in a more firm midsole. If you're wondering where the Ultra Raptor 3 GTX Mid sits in comparison to other lightweight hiking boots out there right now, follow that link up there. That'll take you to my roundup of the best lightweight hiking boots right now, and you'll see where it's placed. And if you are shopping around, it'll help you find the right ones for you. Well, you've made it to my final verdict. Is the Ultra Raptor 3 Mid GTX worth $219? Well, that is expensive for a lightweight hiking boot like this. You can get some that are quite a bit cheaper, like Keen and Hoka, for example, right now do put out some really good hiking boots for less. But this brings a lot to the table. I love the design, love how it looks, and it really does feel nimble like a trail runner. With all that protection as well and fantastic outsole traction, and of course you get the waterproofing, I do think if you are familiar with La Sportiva, you like the quality, the premium build of La Sportiva, and you like how it looks, and you are going to be hiking in cooler conditions, then yes, it's definitely worth it. It's a high performer, it's very comfortable. Just make sure you size up a half size. I can't stress that enough. It completely changes the character of a boot when you get the sizing right. So yes, when you get the size right and everything else fits for you, this is definitely worth it. If on the other hand, you are going to be hiking in very hot conditions, look for a non-GTX or non-waterproof hiking boot. You're going to get a much more enjoyable hike out of a shoe like that. So if you're a fast hiker, a fast packer, or just someone who does want to move through the mountains in varying weather conditions in an agile, lightweight hiking boot, then these are definitely worth your consideration. If you enjoyed this review, remember, please give it a like. Really appreciate it when you guys do that. And subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.